Ga, ga. And here we go. Sporting in the bottom right-hand corner of Gresvan, we have the American Terran player currently representing the Platinum Heroes, but once representing the CranKy Ducklings. It's El Miguelito. It is Vindicta. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gresvan, we have his opponent. We have the Brazilian Zurich player currently representing the CranKy Ducklings. He just 2-0'd Dark in a ZvZ. It is Erik. Ay, ay, ay. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. Let's go. If I would have taken his shirt off, this wouldn't have happened. Oh my god. Gah! Here we go. So unfortunately, one must rise and the other must fall. Personally, I would love them both to have really deep runs in this tournament. I want them both to win, but there can be only one. And we'll see how this turns out. Hatch gas pool from Erik. For those who are familiar, we have been casting a lot of Erik recently, especially in the ESL Masters Americas qualifier. Fun fact, both Erik and Vindicta, they aren't just facing here, they are both also in the main regional event for ESL Masters Americas. Vindicta was invited because of his performance last year. Erik made it through the open and closed qualifier, so they're gonna face again in ESL Masters in the main event for America. So this is a bit of a taste, a bit of a preview of what the best of America have to offer. The Americas, I should say. North and Latin America. Oh. And here we go. Vindicta, of course, the best Terran in all of America, or the Americas. I don't know if I want to say the Americas, though, because, of course, Special is technically from Mexico. He's technically from North America, technically. But he also hasn't been playing too much recently. He's been focusing a little more on the gym. So, regardless, Vindicta is an amazing player. Oh, and Erik, his worst matchup is ZVT. You know, Erik, he loves to be aggressive. He loves to be in the face of his opponents. We've seen him against Protoss. Every game against Protoss, it's 12 pool, or it's 13-12, or it's a hatch block, or it's a proxy hatch, like Erik. And it's not, he's not even all in. He just does it to get ahead in the early game. Here against Terran, Zerg have a harder, they have a harder time kind of asserting themselves and being aggressive without being all in. So we'll see how Erik approaches this. We do see him going for a third base, a little bit delayed, but oh, there is an SCV patrolling and it will delay his third. Lings are going across the map. Vindicta is going for an economic opener. It is going for a third CC before Starport. So very standard, not very aggressive at all from Vindicta. But he is, again, being a thorn in Erik's side. There we go. It's forced. He is forced to take the triangular third instead. A little bit more exposed, a little bit more forward. But he does have this high ground to take advantage of. They will take it in the end. Up! Oh. As that drone was more... Erik makes a gas geyser, but he also kills a gas geyser across the map. So you know what? He's dealing some damage across the map as well. Could even get an SCV as well. But the Hellion comes out in time. Link speed kicks in. Does get 2 SCVs. Oh boy, and there's that Roach Warren. Similar to Cham, Cham is also cut from the same cloth here when it comes to Latin American Zerg players. Cham loves his Roach openers in ZVT. It's a way to be safe, it's a way to be defensive, and a way to survive the early to mid game. But when Erik throws down a Roach Warren, I feel more of an aggressive side to him here. I feel like he wants to hit a bit of a Roach timing instead. We shall see, as this was thrown down at around the 4-minute mark. Third base is on the way. We are droning, saturating our gases. And across the map, Vindicta is going 3cc Banshee. Again, very, very standard. No kind of twists or turns here. This is as standard as standard can get. If you're a Terran player out there, and you're like, how should I open in ZVT? Well, this is the way to open. This is the meta way to open here. Nothing too crazy from Miguelito. There you go. With this, he's going to have Banshees, he's going to have Cloak, he's going to be zooming across the map to harass some of those mineral lines. Erik doesn't have any spores yet, but As I say that, spores are being thrown down in the main, in the natural, and in the third. Hellions are going to be poking in at the third base, but the queens are in position. Roaches are on the way as well. Lings are coming out. We're going to have an army to deal with the Hellions, and the queens will have to reposition to deal with the Banshees. Oh. Here we go. The first Hellion already going to be going down. We do see the Banshee attempted to go into the main base, but thinks better of it for the time being. Does back off. Behind this, we have continued Rax production, and we now have a Marauder. What's important is that the Roaches were scattered. The Hellions dipped in, they saw the Roaches, immediately Vindicta is starting Marauders here to prepare himself to actually have a decent army against what Erik has. Speaking of, Erik is going to be going Lingbane Roach Ravager. We have plus on range and plus on melee on the way for Erik. This will mean that his overall Banelings are going to be a little bit weaker because they're going to be shot down a little bit earlier before they can connect with Marines. But he makes up for that with the power of the Roaches and the Ravagers. The Ravagers, of course, can help bile down tanks, Liberators, any kind of siege units, even Widowmites. So Ravagers are a great supportive unit. We see a scan into the main base confirming the lair. Doesn't see much else though, whether there was like a hidden spire for fast mutas. That is always going to be in the back of Vindicta's mind. And there we go, as if on cue, he is anticipating a spire, so he throws down turrets in his main, third, and natural. And I think that's a really wise choice because mutas are a very common follow-up from this position. Goes for another scan, and he gets confirmation, oh, not mutas, we have Roach Speed on the way. And he cancels every single turret. There you go. So, very nice scouting and very nice responses. He saw the lair, he saw the gases, so he starts the turrets. He sees the research, so he cancels the turrets. There we go. So just some solid reactive play there from Vindicta. Again, he's born and raised on the NA ladder. He has experienced Mia firsthand, Go-Go Joey as well, Erik, Cham, Vindicta. He's on point with his scouting. He knows, Bobby, he knows. And Erik instead is going to be going for an Infestation Pit. Interesting. With this, he can go into the old school dark style of Lingbane Roach Ravager with Infestors. And we actually delay the Banelings and favor Infestors for their Fungals instead. Oh, meanwhile, that first Banshee. Oh, barely. Oh, no! The Queen. The Queen. There we go. The Queen does snipe the Banshee in the end. And we have a Hive on the way, so we're not investing in Pathogen Glands, we're not getting Infestors for their Fungals, we're just going straight into Hive, straight into Adrenal. Before that happens, Vindicta is finally being active on the map with his double drop. For the time being, or for the most part, Erik has been free to drone and take these bases, and he has been. Erik has gone up to a very stable, very economic 82 drone count. He's doing a great job at keeping up with these drops as well. The Roaches have arrived. The Marines, oh, very hot pickup there from Vindicta. Does lose a couple of Marines, but saved a lot of them as well. From here, he's going to be transitioning from Biotank into Biomine, which is a lot more flexible, of course. Well, Sensor Tower on the way, 2-2 as well. Another double drop moving out. We've got a drop going into the main. We've got another double drop head towards the third base. Can Erik split up in time? The Hellion run by as well towards the fourth. Ooh, 5 drones going down. This is distracting the army. This is pulling Erik out of position as the drops are coming in. Erik flexing his multi-prong, his multitasking. That is what that is what Vindicta is known for. And Erik is being pulled apart. The Infestation Pit is going to be going down. Ooh. But we already got the Hive. The Infestation Pit is really only useful if we're taking into Infestors or Swarm Hosts. You don't need one for Vipers. Vipers are already on the way. Erik just refining his army even more. Bearing in mind, he is ahead in supply right now, but that is inflated supply because of all his Roaches. Meanwhile, we have that drop trying to get into the main base. Of Vipers were just scanned. They were revealed. Vindicta is fully aware, and we should be seeing a transition into Ghosts. There's already that Ghost Academy. Ghost production should be starting soon. Oh, the drop for Vindicta is here in the main base, but because it's stuck in the main, because it's stuck in the corner of the map, it can be power bombed. Oh, he's going for another drop, actually. He's committing. Double drop here towards the south has been spotted by Erik. Oh, Liberator's going to be sieging up. There's a Queen on it, but the Liberator will still deal some damage. Oh, as a Powerbomb does clean up the drop. Oh no, the Vipers! Oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, 2 high energy Vipers go down. A big blunder from the side of Erik. He loses 5 drones to the Liberator as well. He was in such a good position here with all of those Vipers. Now he has to rebuild, and he is giving Vindicta more time. Erik just maxed out. Erik, I'm sure, wanted to be active on the map. He wanted to push and pressure one of these bases, but without Vipers, he just can't. He just cannot. Meanwhile, another drop here towards the south. I think there was a mine drop, actually. 7 drones going down. Nice positioning with the Queens. They do snipe those medevacs in the end. Very nicely done. But now both players have maxed. Erik is getting ready to go into Ultras when he sees fit. The Vipers are slowly gathering that energy. Oh my god! Okay. Overseers are on the way here as the mines have been revealed. And a lot of this is going to come down to this push here. Banelings, oh, they detonate with Marauders. Not the most ideal connections. When Vindicta is threatening here to stim on forward. Mine does burrow. Up. Ooh. And we get a juicy connection on those Banelings. Another mine goes off as well. Erik has to be careful not to overextend. Oh, does take down the 3rd mine though. Up. And we get a power bomb, but a very quick split from Vindicta. At the same time, we do have a roach counterattack. The roaches are all going down, but this is fine because Erik doesn't like roaches. He doesn't want them. We're making room for Ultras. I'm getting some Go-Go Joy vibes. Go-Go Joy versus XY over the weekend in the qualifiers, where Go-Go Joy was maybe stuck on Ling Bane Ultra for too long against a Terran player that was turtling up and splitting the map up in half. Hopefully, Erik doesn't make the same mistake, because Vindicta is doing quite well, just working on his SimCity, just taking his half of the map, being pretty defensive overall. Oh. Here we go, the Ultras are revealing themselves. Kindness plating is done. The snipes are real, the Ultras are falling. There's only 2 left, there's only 1 left. Ooh. The blinding clouds are helping, but it's not going to be enough. The Vipers, no! Once again. Ooh, 2 Vipers go down. At the same time, we had a drop. Hatchery does fall. At the same time, we also had a Ling run by, getting 5 SCVs. No, the Vipers! Not again! Oh, Erik. Oh, this time he will save them, thankfully. But Erik is on the back foot. These drops are just killing him right now. Taking down 2 hatcheries. At least that was a cancel, not a kill. Meanwhile, the Liberators are laying siege upon all of these bases.
Command center upgraded.
Another double drop towards the south again. Vindicta. This is the difference. This is the difference between Vindicta and XY. XY just turtled up at home and just was hyper defensive. Vindicta, he's, you know, he has a solid defense back at home, don't get me wrong, but he's very active on the map instead. Another double drop here. The nuke did not go off. Tank is gonna fall. These Ultras are finding some damage, but they have to respect this position. Ooh, and Erik is still having a hard time keeping up. One of the spies was focused down. Another hatchery falls here. He's being pulled apart. Vindicta is just all over the place. This is what a hot bio player looks like. Oh, again, just Vindicta taking advantage of the fact that Erik doesn't have any anti-air, where there are no corruptors to help deal with all of these drops. No corruptors, no hydras, no mutas, no nothing. Just power bombs. And we're getting the power bombs, don't get us wrong. It's all we can do. It's the only form of anti-air we have. Erik is going to stabilize. Like, Vindicta doesn't really have too much of a bank. Even though he's been trading efficiently, Vindicta has been spending a lot of money. He hasn't been able to expand and take another base. We have double Nidus into the main, and yo, Vindicta, does he see? No reaction. Oh, the army is responding. He's picking up. He's boosting over towards his main base. At the same time, Ling's going to be hitting the 3rd of Vindicta. The Niduses will finish. Oh, and Erik is trying to take control of the production. A massive Ling flood into the main at the... Oh, God. But you know what? Vindicta, he just doesn't stop. He gets a kill on another hatchery. Ah. The Lings in the main are going to be cleaned up. Oh, but we borrow the Lings. We're going to be forcing out some scans. We're forcing just Vindicta to spend as much as possible to clean this up. Erik, though, he needs a 6th base. He needs another hatchery. The Lings here next to the... they weren't spotted. The Lings next to the Ghost Academy. They were not seen. Libs continuing to be sent out across the map. Vindicta trying to expand and take another base. Trying to take his 6th, but he just cannot. Oh, I love this as well. With the death of this center tower, it's going to be harder to keep up. The Lings on bar, they're going for the Ghost Academy. They shouldn't get it in the end. Vindicta barely holds onto it. It is on fire. Hopefully he's able to repair soon. Oh, stray Ultra is going to be going down. Erik finally getting these hatcheries up and running, but Vindicta just doesn't want... He doesn't want to let that happen. He's going for another Marauder drop. Corruptors are finally hitting the field. Another... Oh no, it's on fire! No! No! Okay, the SCVs have arrived. Jesus Christ. Liberator once again laying siege upon the center base. Marauders are looking to cancel this 3rd base, and it looks like they force... Oh, it's a kill, not a cancel. 3 Marauders, it's all you need. Erik, though, still has a bank, still has a gas bank. Vindicta is moving out with his entire army, but Erik is catching some of these reinforcements. Oh, but Vindicta does recognize this. I don't think this is a good fight for Erik. He's coming on in. He's getting on top of a lot of the bio army, but the Ghosts will survive. The Vipers get sniped. And Erik is going to lose everything here. A very questionable fight for Erik. He's going to be able to remax, don't get us wrong. But Vindicta can keep on pushing and he can get a hatchery. Once again. 6th base goes down. No one can take a 6th. I guess Migs can. As he's taking another base. It takes a long time for Ultras to pop. Oh, we have a nuke as well in the center base. Oh god. I don't know if Erik can stop this from happening. I don't even... He doesn't see it. He doesn't see it, Papi. No! Erik! Oh, the nuke will connect. 22 drones go down. Erik doesn't care about that, though. He's focused on the main fight. He will take this. He has remax on Ultras and Corruptors. He snipes the full medevac, but he lost his most crucial mineral line. That is the basis, the backbone of his economy right now. Erik has to commit. Oh, he's getting on top of this army here. The ghost count is being reset. But the defensive line is too strong. The Sim City is too good. The Marauders hold on. Erik going to try to rotate over towards the center base. Going to try and find a more exposed army, but no, he cannot. Vindicta holds. Now Erik has to re-drone, rebuild. His economy in shambles. He can never just expand and take these bases. Has taken the southern base, finally. Going for another Ling run by. Meanwhile, oh, another kill, not a cancel. Oh, the mines! Oh. The minefield going crazy, and this may just be it. Erik has finally broken the back of... Sorry, Vindicta has finally broken the back of Erik. Mineral lines going down, bases falling. Vindicta finally getting his 6th base, and soon to be 7th up and running. And Vindicta is looking to take the first game in this series. A lot of action, a lot of drops, a lot of Niduses, even things just happening everywhere. And Erik is trying to hold on here, but it is not going to be enough. Corruptors, caustic spraying down a CC. They will get it, but at what cost? Oh, Vindicta's actually turning around. He's actually turning around. Will save the CC. GG gets called, and Vindicta takes game number 1. Ooh, GG. Ay. Very chaotic, very action-packed there. And again, because of Erik's composition, going Lingbane, Road Ravager into Ultra, into Viper, a big thing that you're missing is a way to shut down drops. And specifically, Vindicta is known for his drop play. That is what he excels at in every single matchup. He is known for his multitasking. He's known for his multi-prong harassment as well, and attacks. That's kind of his forte. That is his skill set, Vindicta's skill set. So for Erik to kind of play like this, it plays into Vindicta's strengths, and we saw that come to full fruition there with drops all over the place, left and right. Eventually, Erik got Corruptors out, but it took a long time, and Erik wasn't babysitting his Vipers as much as he could have, and that was his really only answer to those drops. So really solid play there from Vindicta. Erik is, I think, gonna have to change his style, change his composition, change his outlook on this matchup here if he wants to bring down Vindicta. Oh. Ah. Catching up in the chat. On my knees for Mixer, please. Let's go. Let's go, Poppy. Hey, lad, thank you for casting Gogo Joey the other day as you promised. You are a man of your word. I appreciate all the hard work that you do for the community. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I mean, we're big fans of Gogo Joey. Like, mate, I think I said this before, but Gogo Joey represented the Ducklings in WTL. He played for the CranKy Ducklings. So we have a soft place in our heart for Gogo Joey, for Beastork, for Ender, Mia Micah, a lot of the players from Southeast Asia and from Hong Kong. I mean, a lot of players in general out there we're quite close with. You know, we're kind of spread out throughout the world. But we are now getting into game number 2. And spawning in the... Oh, let's go! Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the American Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes, the ex-CranKy Duckling. It is Vindicta. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the Brazilian Zerg player going for a 13-12 in ZVT. Representing the CranKy Ducklings, it is Erik. I see the Australian boys are waking up. Chappy, Seether, Asher in the chat. On your knees, papi. Ay, ay, ay. But this is something that Erik does in this matchup, again, to get a bit of a lead here. He's not the only one. I believe Uko does this as well, if I'm not mistaken. So 13-12, just to be in the face, just to be aggressive. And he pulls out as soon as he gets 100 gas. So this isn't an all-in. As all-in as 13-12s are, usually we stay in gas and we get a Baneling Nest, or we get a Roach Warren, mainly a Baneling Nest. But Erik only gets 100 gas, then goes back into mining minerals. So, yeah, it's just a way to get fast link speed and a way to go for a bit of a link flood later on to catch Vindicta off guard, to get a couple of SCV kills to get ahead. Is it worth it? I don't know. We'll see. We shall see as 4 lings are on the way. Vindicta's going for an SCV scout, so he will be confirming the timing of this hatchery, the fact that it is late, so he knows it's at least a pull first. And the lings that are coming out are designed to hide the opener, to hide the gas geyser. But we mineral walk past them and oh my god, Vindicta. He clicks on the gas. He knows it's the 13-12. He knows about the gas timing. And Vindicta will be staying at home and throwing down a bunker. Very, very solid response here after scouting the aggressive opener of Erik. Is going to be preparing. Reaper is going to be sticking around. Marine, of course, going to be filling up that bunker. And to be fair, Erik isn't overcommitting to these lings, but he does have 8 lings on the map. And he wants to try and get some SCV kills. Gets 1 Marine. Up. Oh, doesn't get the 2nd Marine, though. The bunker finishes up just in time. And that is the damage that that Erik will find here. That's all the damage he will find. Gonna try and force some mining time lost, I guess. He's gonna force a repair here, so, you know, causing a little bit of havoc across the map just to throw a wrench in the works and cause Vindicta to be a little bit uncomfortable, at least until the Hellion pops. Now here's the Hellion. And from here, Erik is just gonna pull out and get the hell out of there. After all said and done, Erik has a drone lead, sure, but he doesn't have a 3rd base. That's kind of the downside to this opener. He still doesn't have a 3rd hatchery. Is going to be getting it soon, though, I imagine. as the Reaper goes down. We have pulled back into gas. And I wouldn't be surprised if Erik does throw down a Roach Warren. That's kind of what he's known for. That's his bread and butter. We'll see if he goes for the Roach Warren or if he goes for a faster lair. That is also a possibility. Meanwhile, Vindicta's just being very safe. He's getting a Cyclone as well defensively, just so he can make sure he shuts down anything that comes his way. This is going to eat into his Hellion production, though. This is a little bit odd. We're going into a drop. Okay, I've not seen this before. We have our third CC, of course, but a medevac is on the way for a Cyclone Marine drop, I guess. Okay. Oh, we see a scan. We're looking for the lair. We're looking for more gases. Speaking of more gases, there they are, the natural. Oh, only one being taken, though. Only one. The medevac is going to be on the way. And it's going to be scattered as well. The Overlord dips in, does confirm the production, sees Stim coming, but also sees the medevac. So Erik is going to be making some units as a response, as his opponent is going to be in his face. Here we go. The Queens are getting in position. We have some Lings already. I think we're going to need a couple more Lings, though. And this is going to get a little bit scary. Okay, we get a lock on one of the Queens. Oh, Queen is going to survive. These are vanilla Lings. Like, this is such an awkward push. Like, I guess it was just supposed to try and catch Erik droning. Catch him being greedy. Drop his head towards the main base. Hellions are looking for a way into the natural. Up. Looking for their way in. No Roach Warren. We have 1-1 on the way. Erik is going to be going Ling main. Let's go. Not something he does too often. I like it. I like it. Meanwhile, the drop comes into the main base. Lings are going to help clean up these Marines, but the Cyclone survives. Oh, at the same time, the Hellions get into the natural base as well. 7 drones go down and counting. Oh, God. The positioning is just a little bit too good in the mineral line. Oh, 7 drones in total, and the Queen in the main as well. It makes this drop very worth it here for Vindicta. And Erik is going to be looking to try and recover economically. He's going to need a 4th base. Going to need to re-drone. And from here, we're going to be getting into a longer game. You know, we've got our 3rd CC on the way. Got 2 more Raxes as well. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. And I do think that Erik is a little bit better set up here with the Ling Bane. The reason for that is because you can seamlessly transition to a Spire and a Hydrogen easier. You're not spending so much gas on a Roach Ravager like you otherwise would. So I do like this overall. I do think that it's going to mean he's going to be able to keep up with the drop play of Vindicta a little bit easier if he does take up in either of those directions, to be fair. Before that happens, Vindicta, he's just working on his mines, just saturating his bases. No tank production, so he's not going to be going for any kind of big, strong bio tank timing or anything like that. Just going to be relatively passive to begin with. Goes for a scan, it confirms the Evo chambers, the gas is being taken. Sees what he needs to see. No. And Erik is cutting droning here at 58. Interesting. He's got a lot of Ling Bane to work with. His head towards the 3rd base. Banelings do take down all the mines, and that is all we have. Again, no tanks, nothing else here. The Banelings get into the mineral line, but nice splits from Vindicta. Oh my god. Oh, the split, the spread, Papi. The Banelings detonate, but not the most efficient trades. The Lings, though, were able to clean up what they could. 11 SCVs, 12, 11 SCVs going down, 12, 13. So honestly, that could have been a lot worse. That could have been so much worse for Vindicta, but he's able to spread and minimize his losses as best he could. Meanwhile, there's that Hydrogen on the way. Erik will have some anti-air available. Let's go. We'll have some way to help keep up with all this drop play. Meanwhile, the Lings are being fanned out around the map. Do spot the move out of Vindicta as he's pushing through the center. Is going to be hitting with 1-1. Has a couple of mines with his army as well. Do have some defensive Banelings though. But it looks like this is going to be looking to cancel one of these hatcheries. No, he's going to be pushing in towards the third. At the same time, we have a Ling Bane run by here. The SimCity for Vindicta is good. But is it good enough? Oh, mine's going to be going down. Vindicta has to focus on his defense back at home. Quick SimCity there. Quick NG Bay. Oh, God. But now there's nowhere else to go. The Banelings, they find their connections. 5 more SCVs go down. Could have been a lot worse. Again, good reaction from Vindicta. Ooh. Speaking of, mines are going to be going off here on the front lines, but without these mines, these Marines can't fall back to anything. So Erik has defended this game. He's got a lot more momentum going his way. He's droned up to 70. He's got 2-2 on the way. No hive, no infestation pit. Just straight up Ling Bane Hydra on lair tech. Up. Here we go. But Vindicta doesn't want to take this lying down. Despite the fact he's been losing some SCVs here and there, he wants to be aggressive on the map. He has a push on the right and the left-hand side. Looking to try and pull Erik apart. Oh, and we'll see if he can. There we go. Drop head towards the main base. The push on the right-hand side is going to be met with an army. Oh, the mines! Up! Ooh. A good chunk of Lings that do go down. Oh, the stutter stepping. The target fire. Oh my god. Every single Baneling falls for that one drop. Meanwhile, the drop didn't go into the main base. It was spotted by Erik. He does have Lings in position, but no. Vindicta does juke Erik and head towards the 4th base instead. The 5th even. Oh, meanwhile, the Queen actually goes down, does get the medevac in the end. And we have another army headed towards that would-be 5th. Erik is pre-split though. This time, like, Erik is much more aware of the counter-attacking that Vindicta can do and does do. He gets the Queen anyway, my god. Up! No! Oh, the mines go off. Very good connections for those mines. From those mines even. And behind this, Vindicta was able to take a 4th base. Behind all this aggression, his economy is still standing strong. To be fair, Erik hasn't been losing any drones. Like, he's also droned up to 83. His drone count's good. He's just been losing queens, so his larva is impacted. Does impact his overall production. But nothing too major is what's important. Oh, as Vindicta is committing a lot more here to this push this time. Oh, he really wants to try and break this hatchery. At the same time, Erik also goes for a run by, confirms the 4th, but sees the planetary is already done. Can't really do too much about that. There are mines behind this. The babies have to be careful. Up. Nice splits towards the end. But still an efficient trade, a more efficient trade for Vindicta. Erik trying to find a way in. As he's taking up the hive finally and going for a Lunker Den. So he stayed on lair tech a little bit longer, just to make sure that he was safe and sound and could defend against these pushes. But Vindicta, he just doesn't stop, mate. He doesn't stop at all. Liberators head towards the natural and the main base. The push on the right-hand side does get deflected, but now there's another push on the left, and there are so many Marines with this. Erik is once again being pulled apart. Oh no. Cute moves with those borrowed Banes, but Vindicta was looking. He does pay attention. The libs are all cleaned up. Now Erik can focus on the main push. It looks like he's setting up a surround. And here we go. He's coming in from behind this army. He wants to clean this up. Mine shots are going to be going off. Can he focus down the medevacs? We'll get 1. We'll barely get 2. But as the entire army is focused here, Vindicta can push in towards the 5th. We'll get more queens, more creep. The drop, oh no! The drop comes back, but a little bit too soon, is punished for it. And Erik having an easier time keeping up, but oh no, the mines! The mines are too good. Even going off on the hydras as well. Ay, ay, ay. As Vindicta takes the 5th base behind it. It's already a planetary. Erik can't touch it. He can't do anything about it. Not right now. Has to back off. Now what's important though is, again, Erik's drone count is still pretty good. And he now has that lurker den. There we go. Lurkers are on the way. And this will change the dynamic. Erik can slow the game down. He's going to have an easier time defending against all these pushes once he gets the lurkers. But before that happens, Vindicta is already in his face. Up! Burrow, puppy, burrow. Here we go. The lurkers will burrow. And Vindicta is going to try and dive on top of them. He does pre-split his army. Mine shots are going to be going off. And he's going to get every single lurker. Oh my god. Erik thought he was safe. I thought he was safe, but no, the spread was too good. The lurker damage just not as effective as it otherwise could have been. And Erik is kind of being forced into a really awkward position. He has to go for a counterattack. Vindicta, likewise, is not really here to defend, so he may be losing some of his production and his 3rd base. Oh, Erik doesn't want the 3rd. He wants more than the 3rd. He's going all the way for the main. This is ambitious. Erik just sending it all the way into the natural at least. Lingbane rolling on forward here. Does find some good connections. Vindicta just turning everything around. Oh, good. But can he push in? Looks like he can. The lurkers were trying to cut off the entrance to the natural, but they all go down. They didn't have any support. This was an expensive loss for Erik. Far too expensive. He's coming in with the rest of his army, but a little bit too late. He's already lost his Hydras and his lurkers. He's going to be getting a full surround, but mate, these are 3-3 Marines. They don't care about your surrounds. They don't care about your lings. They only care about your banelings. Oh no, the mines! Oh. And now Vindicta has the momentum. He's been able to clean up the high-tech army of Erik. Erik only has Lingbane to defend. He has a couple of lurkers on the way, but they just now started. Vindicta has a massive window where he can just push in and end the game. The Lings are falling left and right. Erik's going for a counterattack instead. A Liberator is laying siege upon the fresh mining base as well. A lurker's coming from behind. And the lurkers, there should be enough of them to clean this up. But not before losing 10 drones. And counting. Oh. Erik, though, he survives. He does survive for now. He forces Vindicta back. But Vindicta's just not stopping. He should maybe respect this army, and it looks like he wants to prepare for a counterattack. Makes sense because Erik is thinking about it. He's thinking about pushing into the 3rd. Vindicta doesn't have to overcommit to these runways. Just sends a couple of Marines here and there. Again, 3-3 Marines, they do so much. And yeah, Erik, he's out of money, out of bases. Has these lurkers, but again, they're alone, and lurkers by themselves. Oh god! Hey, they get 2 ghosts. I was gonna say, lurkers by themselves just aren't really too threatening, unfortunately. Oh. They're all going to be going down. Erik going for a massive Hail Mary play, sending everything he has across the map to try and force Vindicta back home. But the hatchery falls, and Vindicta, he's not turning around. He doesn't need to turn around, to be honest. Erik wedging himself between the 5th and 4th. Gonna try and make this attack angle a little bit awkward for Vindicta, but again, he doesn't turn around. He just keeps on pushing, keeps on going. Gets another hatchery. Oh god, he can't even get the planetary. The repairs are just too damn good. In come the reinforcements, the snipes, the ghosts, the marauders, the marines, and Erik's final army here is being cleaned up. Erik, again, did such a great job making it this far. 2-0ing Dark. Erik's ZvZ is masterclass. But here in the ZVT, Vindicta is just a little bit more solid. GG gets called. Vindicta takes the 2-0. GG, well played. Again, Erik, everyone has to have a worse matchup, and Erik's worst matchup is ZVT. It's where he does struggle the most. Oh. And it's where Vindicta really thrives, to be honest. I say everyone has a worse matchup. What's Vindicta's worst matchup? Protoss. TVP. But GG, well played. Vindicta takes the series 2-0. Erik falls here, but he had a great run. He really did prove himself once again at having world-class TvZ, and yeah, I'm really happy with how he was able to perform overall. I'm messaging Erik. GG, well played. With that, the final Zerg player of the tournament has fallen. Erik was the last one. He was the last Zerg representative, the last Zerg champion. Now only Protoss and Terran remain. Welcome to ESL Americas. And again, even though Erik fell this time against Vindicta, they are going to be facing off again in ESL Masters Americas, and that is a month away. Both players have a month to prepare themselves, to grind, to really put the work in, and to be the best they can be for ESL Masters. We will see them again, and not just that, we'll see them next week in ESL Open Cup Americas, because they are regulars here. They are both taking this very seriously. They're both improving at the game, and they want to be in the best shape possible for that Masters tournament. So yeah. Even though we have to say goodbye to Erik now, we will see more of Erik in the coming days, in the coming weeks. Whew. So don't worry. Regardless, GG, well played. Let's have a look at the bracket and see where Vindicta is going. I think he's going to face Cure, or is it Beyond? I think it's a Terran. Oh boy, I believe it is a Terran player. Let's find out here, as we should also announce the results to the admin.